Shabbat Shalom. Kahalo Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rakakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. And Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yashuan, and this is the World War III Daily Update on Monday. Going to try to keep it short, all right? We know that in the news, there's a meeting today. Let's take a look at that real quick. This is CGTN. I don't know what the hell that stands for. Some news network. January 10th, today, NATO chief meets Ukraine's deputy prime minister, plays down U.S.-Russia talks expectation. Well, first of all, this is huge, all right, as to what's going on over in the Ukraine and Kazakhstan, all right? This is the news of the day. What do you mean you're playing it down? Well, that's the mainstream media, all right? What's going on the ground down there is probably a whole different story. Now, we already know, because it says what's going on over there in Ezekiel 38, and we'll get to that. So let's watch this real quick.
Stoltenberg has held a meeting with Ukraine's deputy prime minister over tensions in the east of the country and with Russia. And now to get the latest on this, let's go live to Ross Cullen in Brussels. Ross, what are you learning from the meeting and what have both sides been saying?
Hi, Maman. Yes, Jens Stoltenberg, the NATO Secretary General, having talks this morning with Olga Stefanishyna. She's the Ukrainian Deputy Prime Minister. Those talks coming before wider discussions this afternoon between all 30 NATO members and Ukraine. Jens Stoltenberg laying out his demands for Russia. He said that Russia must remove its forces from inside Ukraine. This contested part in the east of Ukraine, where a war has been going on since 2014. He also demanded that Russia remove its forces from the neighbouring border regions with the Ukraine, that Russia demonstrate transparency, and also that Moscow is willing to de-escalate. He said that Russia needs to understand that there is a way forward through diplomacy, but NATO also needs to be ready to respond if Russia chooses a path of military force. Jens Stoltenberg saying that we believe that all countries should be free to choose their own security arrangements, and Ukraine is, as far as NATO is concerned, a country that should be allowed to move towards NATO membership.
He said you got to remove your troops from all neighboring. I believe that Kazakhstan is neighboring, so that ain't happening. All right. They know what is going on here.
He was at that meeting with Olga Stefanishyna, the Ukrainian Deputy Prime Minister, and for her part, she was saying that the main principle we want reaffirmed at the meetings on Monday afternoon between Ukraine and NATO is that there is nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. So what she means is that there are no meetings or discussions held this week, and we have among a pretty high-profile week with a lot of high-stakes meetings involving the United States, Russia, the European Union, NATO, and the wider security issue is the one that is key on the table. She said there's nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine, demanding that Kiev and the Ukrainian authorities are represented, do have seats at the table when their country is being discussed. She said we should be free to choose our own security arrangements if we want to enter into partnerships. That should not be what Moscow wants us to do. That should be what Kiev wants to do. We should be able to choose that by ourselves. She also thanked NATO for its unwavering, enduring support of Ukraine's territorial integrity, Ukraine's sovereignty, and she did look forward to those meetings this afternoon. We said we must do everything possible to prevent an invasion by Russia into my country, her words. And also we did hear from Jens Stoltenberg saying that he looks forward to these discussions this afternoon, saying that there will be a high political and economic cost if there is any further Russian aggression towards Ukraine. He's echoing statements we've heard previously from the European Union. You can see the building behind me. The European Union have said to Russia,
that would be the Tower of Babel.
If there is any further aggression towards Ukraine, there will be massive consequences and severe costs.
And there you
NATO
have it.
Chief Jens Stoltenberg has held.
Lucky. There you have it. This thing is spiraling out of control. All right. Let's go here. All right. And if you want more on what's actually going on over there, watch the video that I made. It's going to be just before this one comes up. It's called I Will Turn Thee Back, as in this. And I will turn thee back. That's what's going on right here. What is the Most High doing? This is the Most High. I will turn thee back and bring back the Soviet Union. That's what's going on down there. So watch that video, right? But what I'm getting at here, okay, I didn't want to spend too much time on that, but that meeting or that series of meetings, right, is dead in the water already. Because here's what's happening. Most High's turning them back, assembling them, and bringing them forth. And I will bring thee forth. Bring him, what does it mean to bring them forth? To the battlefield. And all thine army, horses and horsemen, all clothed with all sorts of armor. We're going to war, folks. Okay? And who else is going to war? Iran. Ethiopia. Ethiopia is already down there fighting in there. Libya. This is on the African continent. All with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands in the house of Togarmah. Hey, what does this mean? World War III. All right? Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee. What did France say the other day? We trying to get with Russia. We trying to get with Russia. You motherfuckers are about to get us all killed. What is Russia to do? What is the reformed Soviet Union to do? And be thou a guard unto them. France said, we trying to get some of that guard. All right? That's what's going on. All right? Now let's look at it. Let's take a look. All right, this is going to come up.
There's never been a better.
It's lucky. Let's go to this guy. Where is he at? Is this. Okay, now, let's see. Right here, 2 hours ago, this is Military and Foreign Affairs Network with the Voice of Reason, right? 2 hours ago, battlefield, what? Ethiopia. Wait a minute. Got to show you again. Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya, and Gomer, and Turkey. Okay. What's going on here? What do we have? Russia-Ukraine conflict. This is in the news 1 day ago. Okay. What is this? That's what's going on in what is it? Kazakhstan or whatever. I'm getting mixed up now. This is Ukraine. All right. What is this? Ethiopia. Battlefield Ethiopia. Okay. So this guy's updating what the hell is going on. 1 day ago. 1 day ago. 1 day ago. 2 hours ago. What's going on? Kazakhstan. Okay. Okay. What's going on here? What is the Most High doing? Look at a little bit of this here. Commercial first.
By advertising.
It's a lot. Bear with me. Here we go.
Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason.
So when we're discussing battlefield Ethiopia, who's fighting? Is it just the Africans, the Ethiopians? No, Russia's in there. They're together. They're allies. That's what this is saying. And now France is like, I'm down. Be thou a guard unto us, too. You see, what I'm saying is this. And the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh, here's what's going on. The Most High is running this shit. He's saying what's going on. You understand? He's the one that's making it's his movie. Okay? Is not, according to this, is not Ethiopia with them? Is not Iran with them? They're together. They're allies. The land of Magog is the Medes. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. All right? Well, against them, Babylon the Great is the United States of America. Who's fighting? Okay? It's a proxy war. Vietnam was a proxy war. Afghanistan in the 80s was a proxy war. Okay? Saddam Hussein against the Persians or the Armenians, that was a proxy war. We gave Saddam all of those weapons of mass destruction that we tried to blame him for. Okay? All right, so back to this real quick. Let's look at it.
Today's coverage of the ongoing civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia. We are receiving additional information about the ongoing fighting that has taken place specifically within the area of around the southeastern portions of the Tigray region, specifically near Alamata, near Klorim, and Waja. And first and foremost, what we're understanding is that once we observed the Tigrayan Defense Forces withdraw from its strong points near Weldia, Mersa, Wichale, Kobo, and proceed into the southern Tigray region, withdraw into the southern Tigray region, we also saw a fairly significant operation by the Abiy loyalist formations in which they then entered the southern Tigray region. The forces that entered the southern Tigray region on the part of the Abiy loyalists were very significant, again numbering in the thousands, with multiple division-sized formations. Again, these division-sized formations would be more or less the size of brigades in terms of Western strength. But again, as we know, these forces then entered Alamata and attempted to proceed north toward Korim. And the information that we're getting now is the magnitude of casualties that were sustained by the Abiy loyalist formations and its Amhara regional allies as it entered the southern Tigray region. Specifically, west of Alamata, just to the north of Alamata, we saw some fairly large-scale actions taking place in which units of the Abiy loyalists were enveloped and then destroyed in zone. So again, it would appear that the initial intent by the Abiy loyalist formations in entering southern Tigray was to continue a push north along the A2 highway. For whatever reason, it would appear.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to look into, knowing that according to Ezekiel here that Ethiopia is allied with Russia, right? With them, being a guard unto them, supplying them with weapons and ammunition. I want to know who's on the other side. So who is Tigray allied with? And then we can find out what the proxy war is really all about. But overall, okay, where is this thing headed? We'll get this and we'll go ahead and close it out. All right, it's just a little update to show you what's going on. Joel 3:1, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I, who's I? The Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I, the Most High is still talking here, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's what this whole thing is. This whole war, what's going on up there, what's going on in the north, which is around the area of the Soviet Union, right? What's going on between Taiwan and China, what's going on down there on the continent of Africa is this. I, the Most High, will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Let's look at that in the NLT. NLT, I will gather what? The armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Here's what's going on. This is what God is doing. Here's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is doing. He's gathering them into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Why? Because he's going to judge them. He's going to put them on trial for what they did to my inheritance. He will enter into judgment with them there. All right? He will plead with them. What? How do you plead? Okay, enter into judgment. All right? It's judgment day. Okay? God is gathering the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat to launch an ambush. All right? That's what we see going on. All right? It's called World War III. What is it, 11? Revelation 11:14, the second woe, World War II, is past. And behold, the third woe, World War III, cometh quickly. All right? Who's doing this? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is doing it. Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart. Who's the king of Russia? Who's the king of the Medes? Vladimir Putin. What does the word heart mean? This word heart goes back to the Hebrew word lab, which means your mind. The king's mind is in the hand of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Here's what we see going on. What is the Lord doing? He's gathering the armies of the world into the valley of Joseph. All right. So with that, see you tomorrow. All right. We hope that the elect of Israel were edified with that. And until tomorrow, we'll say Shabbat Shalom.